Ooh, what a beautiful, crisp, early October morning. Oh, I love these days. It's 53 on the temperature gauge. Beautiful, beautiful morning. And boy, do I have a busy day planned. I sure do. Let's go ahead and jump in the combine and get this thing going. Let it warm up a bit, because you see, back over there, the corn is ready to harvest. Alright, let's get that thing fired up here. Man, I can't believe how well this combine runs, as old as it is. It runs really good. Alright, we'll let that warm up for a few minutes. So, well, I ended up buying the old tractor, the dirty one he had in the shop. Uncle Charlie had in the shop, the 4840, one with a loader. Figured it would come in handy. It was actually a little cheaper, has slightly more horsepower, and I got the loader. Well, Uncle Charlie had this old bucket laying around. Bought it off of him. Now, it didn't look like this when I bought it. It was actually pretty rusty, but took some sandpaper to it, got a can of John Deere spray paint. Turned out pretty nice, actually. And you see there's a couple of metal braces inside the bucket. Uncle Charlie, being Uncle Charlie, he's a pretty clever fella. He welded that in. He's got these metal spears back here that he built a bracket for where they mount in. A couple bolts that we can use. You slide them in, and it makes a pallet fork. I thought that was pretty handy. We're actually going to have to use that today. Yeah, so got a tractor. Got a tractor. Alright, well, it is time to harvest some corn. Now, the problem, I don't have a silo on the farm. But I've come up with something. I saw an ad in the local classifieds for a grain bagging system. I had no idea this even existed. So I called the fella and talked to him, went out and looked at it, and the price was right. And I think that it will do a good job for me. So we are going to try to make that work today. Hopefully it will. You know what? I am actually going to, let me back up here. I'm going to knock this first row off here on this end. Give me some turning around room so I'm not having to go out in the road every pass. Alright, let's get this header lowered down. There we go. Everything looks good. Alright, let's fire it up. Man, just smooth. Very smooth. Works out really well. Alright, this is the first harvest here in the Emerald Coast. Now, my understanding is that the previous owner had taken good care of this field. They had done a good job with the nitrogen application. Oh, I am missing a row. Let me back up here. And everything had been taken care of and done by the book, really. So I'm hoping that we get a good harvest. Hope we do. The corn really looked good growing. So hopefully we get a whole bunch of corn off of this field. But you won't know until it's all said and done with. It has been a little dry this past year during the growing season for the corn. Look back at some rainfall averages, and it wasn't good. So I don't know if it filled out as well as it should have. Maybe it did. Right, let me back up here. I think that's going to give me enough room to back up. So yeah, we got some corn to harvest. Well, I almost made it all the way around the field. Made a couple passes on the other side. Knocked the end off of the field and then was coming down this side and got full. So I need to set up the bagging system. Now this thing is interesting. What it is an auger that we load up a bag, and I actually ran down to the dealership. They actually had those in stock. I couldn't believe it. And then this here is for when we're ready to unload it. Won't be using that today. So let me go grab the John Deere tractor, and we're going to set this up somewhere. We also need to get the pallet off the back of the truck. I need to get that. Oh, and you know what? I need to get this pallet fork set up. Let me do that real quick. All right, very good. So you see the spikes just go inside those little pockets there with the metal, and there's a bolt that goes through it, holds it in. Works out pretty good. Works out pretty good. That's clever. That is clever. All right, let's back up, and we're going to ride over here to where the pickup is. I'm not going to drive across the yard. Wow, this tractor has a really good turning radius. That is awesome. I gotta get the tailgate down on the truck. Let me go do that real quick. Alright, there we go. So yeah, it comes on the pallet there. It's a bag. Some big old bag that supposedly expands out when we load it up. So yeah, I don't know how this is gonna work out. I have never seen this before. The guy told me how it worked. So we're going to get it set up and hopefully get this grain bagged up. You know, I thought about trying to sell this right off the field. I cannot see the ends of those spikes. Oh, I am a little bit high. Yeah, so I was going to sell it right off the field. And, you know, I got to thinking, I'm going to end up losing a lot of money selling it early. I don't like that. Let me get this reset up here. All right, finally got it hooked up here. It was difficult. I cannot see the ends of the forks from the cab here, so bunch in and out on the tractor trying to get this pallet hooked up. Good grief. So I don't know where to set this up because from what I understand, this bag will expand out quite a ways. So, oh man, I don't know. Maybe just right here beside this field? Maybe so. I don't want to put it down along this section of the field because that is right here beside the road. I definitely don't want somebody to get into it with their vehicle, have a wreck, then spill out all my grain. So I think just right down alongside these trees should work out. That should be good right there. All right, let me get this hooked up. Well, oh boy, I have no idea if this is going to work. So I've got the bag in, got it all unfolded and set up into the bagger. And, you know, I got to measuring. I think that hopper is actually too tall for the pipe that come out of the combine. So what I've done is I've got this one. It normally would just pull up here with a grain cart, having it on the ground. So I've raised it up into the air. And I think the pipe will just discharge right into it. I didn't think this through. Didn't think it through. Let's see if I can get around this corn. Alright, let's see what we can do. Let's see if I can back up here and drive over here. I'm actually going to have to end up going out into the cornfield. Maybe we can come along and cut it and not lose anything. I know it's going to crunch down some of those stalks. Alright, let me get my pipe out here. There we are. There we are. Hey, how about that? Look at that. It works. Right on the money. How about that? Yeah, so that's working out pretty good. So let me hop out here. Let's take a look and see what's going on here. Yep, the corn's going right into the hopper. Oh, look at that. It's filling it up. It's stretching that bag out. Hey, that is working out pretty good. Now, hopefully, we have enough room for this bag. Undoubtedly, this thing gets pretty long. Very good. Very good. Alright, well, I have a lot more corn to get harvested. Alright, let's see how that looks. I've got all the corn off the field. We just zipped up the bag and pulled away from it. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. Looks good. All nice and dry. Shouldn't get any moisture in there. It's kind of out of the way. Right here beside the field. Not too bad. Notice the auger. Let's see if I can squeeze right here. The auger that brings the grain in. Dumps into the bag. Works out pretty good. Would I want to do this on a giant field? I don't know. But it doesn't work too bad. It's actually not bad. So, we got our grain in. About 40,000 liters of corn. That's all. Not too much on this field. It actually... You know, I think we probably should have got a little bit more off of this field. Something's not right with it. I'm not sure. We may have to get the soils tested and try and fix it. I don't know. Well, see, it's getting cloudy. I think we got rain coming. Glad to get that corn in. Very glad to get it in. That is good. And now we can save it. Maybe sell it later on in the year. Hopefully make a little bit more money off of it. Where do I put these things? I guess we'll put them back right around over here beside the shed. Now, something else that I have run across. So, I thought this shed over here was in pretty good shape. Unfortunately, it's not. It has some problems. We'll just shut this off here. There we go. Yeah, this shed, you know, to be honest with you, I'm a little bit nervous about even going in there. I've opened a couple of the doors and they just about fell off the hinges. You can see those hinges are super rusty. That block, all of the, what is it, the mortar that's between the blocks is starting to deteriorate and kind of fall out. So I'm actually concerned that those doors, the anchors in the doors, are not going to hold. The roof is leaking. There are just a lot of problems inside that. So, you know, I don't want to put any equipment in there. I'm just afraid it's going to get messed up. Yeah, we may have to tear this thing down. Maybe put something up that's a little bit more safe and dry. But yeah, all in all, a very productive morning. We got all the corn harvested. The new tractor did well. Our portable silo system worked well. That worked well. And of course the harvester did a fantastic job. So I really can't complain. Really can't complain. Hold on a second. I'm getting a call. Oh boy, this should be good. Hello? Hello? Hey Randy, how you doing? I'm doing real good, Mr. Mike. How you doing? Oh, I'm doing good, Randy. Just got the corn harvested. Oh, that's good. I knew you was wanting to get that done. Yep, it was pretty smooth harvest. It didn't really have any trouble. Well, that's good to hear. It's good to hear. Well, I got some news for you. All right, lay it on me, Randy. Well, we've got all of the grain, all the seeds. Got it sold for you. Got it all taken down to the seed store down there, and they should be sending you a check. Oh, that sounds good, Randy. That is good news. Good news indeed. Glad to hear things are still moving along up there. Any idea about how much they're going to be sending me? I think it was right around 53,000. Oh, that's it? Yes, sir. I believe 53,000 is what he said. Well, I guess that crop didn't bring in as much as we thought it would. Well, you know, that's just the leftovers. Well, that's true. That's true. You've been working through some of that since I've been gone, huh? Well, what about all the equipment that we had on lease? Has that been taken down, back down to the shop? Yep, all that's been taken down there too. So you ain't got nothing else costing you any money. Well, good deal, Randy. I appreciate that. Appreciate the update. How's everything else going? Pretty good, pretty good. Can't complain. All right, good to hear. Well, I appreciate the update. I'm going to go in here and get some lunch. It's just about lunchtime down here. And I guess keep me up to date. Will do, Mr. Mike. You take care now. All right, Randy. We'll see you later. Oh, Randy. I'll tell you. Well, let me go in and see what my wife has for lunch.